What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am not here, so I will be doing this review in my car.
Alright guys, we are back with another review out of my element, but I am here talking about The Perfect Date. This movie just dropped on Netflix, starring one of the brand new Netflix heartthrobs, a guy that is starring over and over in these rom-com films, and I was actually interested to see where this movie could go, especially after last year's film, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I really enjoyed that movie, and the more I think about it, the more I liked it. So I was semi-excited, even though there have been a lot of rom-coms on Netflix that have fell completely flat. But what I need you guys to do is to get down in the comments section below and let me know, did you like this movie? Did you not like it? Were you disappointed? All of those things. This is an open discussion forum to talk about The Perfect Date, and that's what I am going to do today, so let's talk about this movie. So to save up for college, Brooks Radigan creates an app where anyone can pay him to play the perfect stand-in boyfriend for any occasion. Brooks Radigan, like, they chose the biggest bro name they could think of, but I was very intrigued by the fact that Noah Centineo is playing this character, because I really, and I know a lot of people are going to give me flack for this, because Austin, he's clearly appealing to a genre that is not for yourself, but listen, I can't help it. I really enjoy the guy on screen, and he is what really, his chemistry and his performance is what really makes this narrative flow, even though it's not the strongest movie I've ever seen. And spoilers, I didn't love this film, but I do think it is going to appeal to the audience that it's set out to appeal to, and that is one reason, if you are watching this expecting me to rave about this film, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to say, for what it was made for and for who it was made for, if you love a good teen rom-com, or if you just love a cheesy premise like this with a few cute moments and a few cute characters, then I do think you're going to enjoy this movie, and for that, I can't strike it too hard when I say the plot is very predictable. I saw exactly where this was going the second the movie actually started getting into it, and we met these characters. Now, when I was introduced to some of these characters, I wasn't the biggest fan of them, but as the movie progressed, I started to like certain characters less, which I think we were supposed to, and then I started to like other characters more, which I think the movie intended on us doing. So that's another reason why I can say this movie does do what it set out to do, and in the grand scheme of things, if a movie can accomplish its goals, then I'm going to sit back and say, yeah, that was a pretty good effort. And I do say pretty good effort, not that it was bad on a technical level. I thought the filmmaking was fine. For me, it's just the plot. And it is a plot. If you are like me and you're watching a ton of movies a year, and I've already watched like 60-something movies in 2019 from the year of 2019, then you have seen this movie probably already this year, and I have seen similar, especially last year. There were so many rom-coms on Netflix that had a similar plot, that had similar characters, even though they didn't have the charm of a Noah Centineo or a Laura Moreno. I think both of those actors are super charming, and their chemistry really kind of carries this film on their back, even though I didn't like her character at the beginning. Her character was brash and kind of abusive, and I'm like, okay, I really like him, and I don't really like her, but as you start to get invested in the relationship, you begin to grow on her character and realize that she was just aggressive and brash because of certain things in her life, and as you start to peel those layers back a little bit, you learn more about her, as you expect to, and you learn more about him, and while I really liked him at the start, you start to discover things about his character that weren't the best things ever, and he is kind of a typical standard and cliche character. He likes what all the bros likes. He wants to get into the Ivy League schools. He likes the nice cars and this and that, and as he learns his lessons along the way, it's something that you anticipate, but he still starts out as a very conventional character, and one that wasn't very well written. I don't think this movie in general is a well-written movie because it doesn't take chances. It doesn't change up the genre in a way that we haven't seen before, like certain rom-coms have in the last few years, certain rom-coms on Netflix that have really impressed me. This is not one that impressed me from a narrative and a story standpoint. It was kind of flat. It was okay, but the characters and the acting is what really carries this movie, and if you are invested in the characters at the beginning of the film, then I think you're going to stick around until the end, and you're going to get exactly what you expected from The Perfect Date. The same characters, the same story, the same best friend that has an interesting character, but he's not explored as much as he could have been. Just pretty much everything that you anticipated. I said nothing more. You might get something less because you might watch this movie, you might be offended by the plot, the fact that they do reference a male gigolo multiple times in this film, because that's really what he is doing with this app. He is going on dates with all of these girls. Now, I don't think it's as offensive as some people are going to make it out to be, but it's still like, I don't know if what you're doing here is 100% working. And the app itself, what the storyline is kind of built around in the summary, it kind of gets shoved to the wayside for these relationships and his story to kind of flesh out with both of these girls. Of course, the main character starts to fall for one character when he thinks he's falling for another character, and there's this love triangle even though somebody else is in the mix. It's like, you know where it's going, but you're really in it for the characters, like I said. And for those reasons alone, I can say, if you're into movies like this, if you like a good teen rom-com, I don't think this is the best of the bunch, especially on Netflix. It is something we have seen before, but because of the charm of the actors, especially Noah, I do think this one is worth a try if you love this genre. And overall, I know a lot of people expected me to hate this movie because this is the kind of Netflix film that I would usually watch and say, I don't like it very much, but that's because they don't know how to select their talent. This movie did that, and I think the charm of the actors is going to carry you all the way until the end, and that's why I'm going to go fresh with this score, and I'm going to give this a 60%. It is on Netflix right now for you guys to test out, you guys to check out and try if you are a fan of a movie like this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I got up super early this morning to watch it. I am out of town, like I said, going to try my absolute best to watch Hellboy later today, and hopefully we get a Star Wars Episode 9 trailer, and hopefully I am not too busy to come back out here and do this review in my car in a neighborhood where people are probably watching me. That's okay, guys. I promise to be back home very soon. Thank you for having the patience to get through this little road trip with me. You are the absolute best. Thank you so much for watching this channel, and I will catch you later on today.